Hello everybody, my name is Oleg. I'm not professional blogger and sorry about English, it's not my first language. But this video I decided to make because I was impressed in negative sense of video from candidates of presidents of the United States, Ramaswamy. I live in the US from 2020. I moved from Ukraine, so I'm Ukrainian, but I'm Russian-speaking Ukrainian. In my family, we speak Russian. And I decided to answer to this speech that I heard from Ramaswamy about war in Ukraine, about Russian-speaking population in eastern and south Ukraine. So it was like totally Russian propaganda that Ramaswamy said, because I know what happened and because I was there in 2000. I lived in Donetsk from 2000 until 2014 when this war started, this aggression started. It was started not in 2022, it was started in 2014 from Crimea and Donbass, if you forgot. So I was there, I lived there. Why I can tell you true, because I was there. So the main question, why me? I told you because I lived there in Donetsk. I saw everything was happened, was on like in front of my eyes. So the main question, the main thing that I want to tell you, that question that Ramaswamy asked was about, first of all, okay, we're starting from Russian-speaking population. Yes, I was born in Russia, first of all. My father, he's Russian. My mother, she's Ukrainian. So I was born in Vladikavkaz. And for example, it will show you how was it, how little bit, how history was. I was born in Russia. But in 1991, my family moved from Vladikavkaz to Ukraine. Why? Because of if you remember, 1991, Soviet Union was collapsed. Some war started in North Caucasian region, and we moved. But why these regions Ramaswamy called Russian-speaking? Because yes, a lot of people in big cities in eastern Ukraine, like Donetsk, Zaporozhye, Dnipro, they speak in Russian. Why? Because of Russia, when it was Soviet Union. If you remember history, Soviet Union was established in 1920, and after that, Russian Bolshevik terrorists started genocide with Ukrainians. What happened? The big famine, big famine in genocide in 1933. Millions of Ukraine was killed by famine. Yeah, it's called famine. It was genocide. Okay, they killed a lot of Ukrainians in Ukraine, but after that was industrialization, and after that they started moving Russians to Ukraine, and it's very easy to check, because all people from eastern Ukraine, if you asking them where's your parents, where was your grandparents, most of them tell you they moved from Russia, they moved from Ural, they moved from other parts of Russia, and this is the reason why population started speaking Russian. About discrimination, Russian language in Ukraine, it's totally bullshit, because I know it's like not another one. Because my family, we lived in small town in Dnipro region from 1991 to 2000. In 2000, I started learning economic in Donetsk University, and I moved to Donetsk like student. And if we are talking about discrimination, it was discrimination of Ukrainian language, because I finished my school in Ukrainian language. And when I started, when I tried to pass entering exam to university, they gave me tests in Russian, but I finished math in Ukrainian language. In Donetsk, they gave me Russian tests. So it was not only this one. Historically, people in villages, they speak Ukrainian, but when they moved to these industrialized cities, they started speak Russian, because it was not very popular to speak Ukrainian. That showed you like you are, it's like a little bit shame that you are from village, you know how it's working. In big cities you are like intelligent, from village you are not. So the people started speak Russian. So this is the main reason why people in Eastern Ukraine speak in Russian. But even Russian-speaking people, they don't want to be occupied by Russia, you know, because mostly people, even right now, they're moving from Russia to Europe, to US, to avoid this fucking Putin totalitarian regime. Another one, Ramaswamy said about church that Ukraine banned Christian church. It's totally fake, because when Soviet Union collapsed, Orthodox Church was in Ukraine from main office in Moscow. So after Ukraine started being independent, they established their own church in Kiev with Kiev office. And recently, Verkhovna Rada, our parliament from Parliament of Ukraine, they banned their Moscow Orthodox Church in Ukraine. Of course, you can pray in Ukraine any religion. You can keep any religion in Ukraine, because after aggression, the biggest aggression in 2022, Russian Orthodox Church with branches in Ukraine, it was a spy net in Ukraine. They helped invaders to occupy our country. Another question was about elections. Why we are not democratic? Ukraine is not democracy because no elections. If you remember, in US legislation, Roosevelt was third times president because of war. Second war was the same like in Ukraine. During the war, you cannot make elections, because how can people from this occupied territory can vote? So in our constitution, in Ukrainian constitution, elections cannot be started when we have a war. The same you have in the US constitution. You can check it very easy. So this question is not about Ukraine, it's about Russia aggression. Another one. How many, about Russian language, I forgot to say you. You know that in Russia we have about 8 million Ukrainians. This region like Kursk, Voronezh, and this part of Russia, before it, and even now in villages people speak Ukrainian. Oryol, Bryansk. Before the most population in this region of Russia, it's Ukrainians. And what do you think? How many Ukrainian schools they have in Russia? Zero Ukrainian schools. The same bullshit in Hungary. A lot of the Putin's fan Orban, they asking about Zakarpattia, because a lot of Hungarian people live in Zakarpattia. Yes, of course, they live in Zakarpattia and they have passports of Hungary. Hungary gave them passports of, and citizenship of Hungary. And Hungary asking about every time these people from the Carpathia, Ukrainian region, the Hungarians, they under pressure. So the same question to Mr. Orban: how many Ukrainian schools you have in Hungary? Because a lot of Ukrainians live in Hungary. The same questions, Slovakia and other countries. But Hungary is the most against Ukraine because Orban corrupted by Putin. He is a big fan, if you're not mistaken. Like Ramaswamy. I'm asking the government of US, check please Mr. Ramaswamy about funding, where he taking money. I think he's receiving money directly from Moscow. So another question that we need to discuss, it's about help to Ukraine. Of course, if US or other democratic countries will not help Ukraine, Ukraine will be occupied by Russia. And what do you think? What will be next step from Russia with Ukrainian resources, Ukrainian people? They will occupy it. Billions of refugees go to Europe and to US. Millions of people will go, but somebody stayed. And after Russia will take power again, the next step will be NATO countries like Poland, Hungary, Slovakia. And what do you think? Is it better than send more missiles and weapons to Ukraine? Think about it. And NATO, and what about Budapest Memorandum? If you remember, Ukraine gave all nuclear weapons to Russia because Russia was Russia, US, Great Britain, China, they, and if I'm not mistaken, France, they was like they gave warranty of territorial territory of Ukraine will be safe. What happened? Why this Budapest Memorandum warranty for Ukraine not working? This is a question. What do you think next, if we will make peaceful agreement with Russia, do you think it will work? It will work? Not, of course. Only NATO. We need, why we asking NATO? Because NATO is only what working right now for Ukraine, for countries like Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania. It's working. Russia don't fight with these small countries. They started aggression about Ukraine. Think about it. So what we need NATO. Even we will not deoccupy this territory right now. We need to save this territory of Ukraine with NATO. After that, we will clarify what will be with this occupied territory. We will deoccupy it by ourselves. But think about it, and Mr. Ramaswamy, think about it. But I think you will not think, you just calculating money. So it was my first video with emotions. Sorry about my English, but I hope if it will be interesting, we can discuss these facts in next videos. I hope I will do next videos. If it will be interesting, please give me a like and comments this. Please. Thank you very much.